All right, now it's time to select the artifact. So again, the purpose of your educational portfolio is to capture moments of professional growth generated from your program. The purpose of this course is to help you author a moment of professional growth into your portfolio. We're in the midst of that. The purpose of this task in this course is to help you select the artifact to represent your identified moment of professional growth and to embed that artifact in your portfolio. Okay. So again, an artifact is something you can point to that represent your moment of professional growth as an educator. So in the previous task, I talked about a moment when I was a student teacher many, many years ago. I was asked to create a quiz for the class that I was serving as lead instructor. I developed a quiz that I believe represented tasks the class should have been able to complete, given what I taught the previous week. After I gave the assessment and saw the poor scores, my clinical instructor knowingly shared with me how the assessment I designed did not allow for differentiation in performance. It was more of a challenge problem that frustrated most of the students, thus not allowing for an accurate measure of what the students knew about the content I taught. In short, it was a bad test. Okay. But most importantly, that moment of failure represented an important moment in my development as a teacher. What makes a good assessment of learning? I wanted to know what my students knew, not frustrate them, so I didn't get the information that I sought after. So given that situation, given that moment of professional growth from my program, the logical artifact would be the test, right? The bad test. So to take that, put it into the folder, my shared folder, and then I could embed it here in on my artifact page. Now, it could also be, maybe it's a journal. Maybe I don't have the text, maybe like I didn't want to see it ever again, but knowing it was from a field experience, I probably journaled about it. Like I had to do a field experience journal, just like many of you, and probably journaled about either the writing of it, the giving of it, or the rewriting of it, right? Because we gave them a retest. And so maybe it's, or also too, maybe it's the test and the rewrite, right? And to put those side by side, that could be another artifact that could point at the learning that I had, right? So regardless of the artifact. So again, it's just something that represents the moment. Just like when you go to a concert, something that represents the moment could be the t-shirt that you get, could be the ticket stub, could be a picture that you took with a friend, could be the selfie that you got in front of the stage where you can see the artist, and you got it. That's the artifact that represents that moment. It's not the moment, it's what represents the moment. That's what we're talking about with an artifact. So regardless of the one you choose, it doesn't matter. Now we're picking something to represent that moment. Again, for others, it could be the assignment that you do, it could be a reading, could be a screenshot of a discussion post you wrote, whatever. Okay. There's many, many different things you could use for that purpose. Okay. All right. So how we do that? How are we going to do this? So we're going to go to our, we're going to share our screen. I always got to share the screen. So what we're going to do is we're going to put it here, this artifact. And so you could think there's a number of different ways we can, we're again, logged into Google, using our Chrome browser. We're logged into Google Drive using only our @Go account. I'm in my portfolio. And I want to actually go to my portfolio folder, because remember that portfolio folder is shared with anyone with the link. I got to find the thing. Mine is called Education Portfolio. So it's usually alphabetical. There it is. There's my stuff. Okay. So I'm just going to use this field experience journal as a stand-in for my test, but whatever. What I want to make sure is that artifact, whatever it is, if it's a picture, if it's a screenshot of a discussion post, if it's a document, like even a Word document, put it in here. If it's a PDF, put it in here. Whatever, it's a video, it's a picture, whatever, put it in this folder. Because remember, this folder is shared to anyone with the link. So if I embed something from this folder into my portfolio, anyone can see it. If it's not in this folder, then people might not have permission to view it. And then all of a sudden, when they go to your portfolio, it's going to say you don't have permission to view. And that makes you look bad, right? Because you're not thinking about who's viewing it. You're just looking at it from yourself, right? So we want to also make sure that this is shared with others, okay? So I've got my drive, and we're going to pretend this is my quiz that, my bad test, right? That I want to embed in my portfolio. And so we've got the portfolio. I got this here. So, to place my artifact in my drive, I got to make a choice first. Okay. So I've got my artifact. It's right here. Now, what I could do is just grab the link. Okay. I could just link to it. And so, I could just put a bad test, right? Maybe that's not the best title for my link, but link to it, and I could paste that link there. So now when I go to it, there's that file. Again, I'm using this field experience journal as a placement, as a placeholder. But some of you might be like, have something like maybe it's slides from something, or maybe it is a picture. Maybe it's something like, maybe you want to actually embed it. Okay. Which is, hey, it's a website. You can do that. So instead of putting in text, so what I'm going to do is click off to the side here. So maybe I still have the link, but I'm also going to go to this drive, and I'm going to go to that folder. Where's my folders? See them all. There it is. All right. There we go. What's it called? Education portal. Reverse alphabetical order. There it is. Okay. So I want to embed it. So once I select the file, I can hit insert. And now you can see it. And when you actually preview it, and we can do a little preview, you can see I can scroll through a document that I've got there. If it's slides, you can go through the slides. If it's picture, just want to make sure it's sized up appropriately. But that's kind of cool to do that with a website. You can choose to embed, and then if I do this, then I probably don't need this link. I could just get rid of this little box. So then I just have this. Okay. Remember, anytime you do something, you want to undo it. We have an undo button here. So, I didn't want to delete that. Or if I deleted something and deleted more than what I wanted, hit that undo button. Okay. All right. So that's embedding the artifact. So you could choose whether to embed it as so you can see it, or you can link to it. Either way, having an artifact that represents your moment of professional growth is important. Okay. It's just like, that ticket that brings up those memories from the concert that you went to, or the picture, or whatever. Like, it's representative of the moment. It's not the moment, it's just representative of the moment. Okay. So if you've completed all that, you have selected the artifact to represent your identified moment of professional growth, and you've embedded it in the artifact in your portfolio. Great.